people are on the pitch. They think it's all over. It is now.
Football Monthly, all the way from Kasdan to Subbuteo. Table Football Monthly, pick a team 'cause we're set up and we're good to go. Yeah, we're good to go.
Interesting. Very interesting. Oh! Look at his face! Just look at his face!
You got to flick to kick, but make it quick before the chance is gone. Spin to win and knock it in before you know it, the game is won. The flick and the spin enough to win, and soon you're ready to show you're good to go. In the morning, you're good to go. In the morning, you're good to go.
Hello, and welcome to the 2021 Christmas edition of Table Football Monthly with a real elf.
And safety.
It's clever. We have got a cracker of a show for you today.
You did that.
This stuff isn't written in a day, you know. Oh no.
Now, don't want to be critical, you know, this time of year. Where's all the decorations?
There is a true story about that. Carrie phoned me this morning, just this morning, and said, what with COVID and everything, haven't been out shopping, haven't got any decorations. Have you got any in the studio? So I told her we had the snowman, who you may have seen on the Facebook site. We had a little curtain of twinkly lights, remember those?
Very nice, very nice.
We got a bit of tinsel.
No.
And she came and picked it all up this afternoon.
Oh, that's it.
That's it.
Gone.
Not a single decoration anywhere in the book. Well, she left this.
Well, just the one.
You can go with it if you want. Okay. So, jingle all the way. Do you know what? It's getting more Christmassy by the minute. Please do write in with your comments about this wondrous outfit from my little elf here. Come on, let's do some introductions.
Okay. Keith's going to kick it off with a feature on the long-term future of original Subbuteo. May take some time.
How very rude. You're going to love it, I promise. Then after that, we have Mayhem. A week or so ago, we invited several guests over to the studio, many of whom will sound familiar to you. Gianluca Zucchelli, Simon Goodman, Cliff Naylor, Martin Hanson, and Danielle came along too. And they all thought they were going to be playing a little bit of Subbuteo. But oh no, we forced them against their will to undertake a few different games that many of them hadn't played before. 4-2-4, Striker, Big League, Kasdan, Chad Valley, total mayhem. We'll never get all the sets fixed. So we'll be featuring that later in the programme.
Now don't go away, because coming up we are going to be giving away not one, but two fantastic sets. France 98, Subbuteo Continental, it must be Christmas. Sadly, we don't want to give them away really, but they're yours to win. It's Christmas, everybody!
He's telling the truth though. We're giving those away this very day. France 98 with the throw-in figure and the little chip-in figure. Trevor Spencer's favourite Subbuteo game. He's probably dialing in now, entering that competition. After that, we're going to be playing this Subbuteo Dream Team Stadium. Wow. Now, a lot of you have asked for it, and we're here to serve after all. But this is going to be a handful, so stay tuned for this, because I've got a feeling it might be mildly comical. We don't often start features on Table Football Monthly from outside the footy room, but today is different. This is where I do my day job. For 33 years, I've had a studio working on audio post-production in television, from voices, composing music, creating soundtracks, mixes, and so on. I've also been lucky enough to create and produce a lot of my own shows for the likes of BBC, ITV and Nickelodeon. And that has meant that we've had to stay abreast of modern technology. which is always fast moving, can be exciting, and also a bit expensive. Now, in order to cope with that, as you're going to see, which is why we're here, I surround myself with nostalgia because it's something I enjoy. Nothing specific, I don't care what it is, I just like old stuff. So I'm going to give you a little stroll around here by way of creating the backdrop for what we're about to discuss. Undoubtedly a bit of wishful thinking. I'm a big fan of the Beatles and Eddie Cochran. For those of you who visited the studio, you will be familiar with the entry door here. And the first things that greet you are two original 1973 chopper bikes welded together to create a rather attractive tandem. Right next to it, an old radiogram. Nostalgia generally creates warmth, it brings back pleasant memories, and it rekindles passion. And I love that. Towards the back of the room, we get into motorsport. The number 5 and the Lotus green and yellow represents my favourite F1 driver of all time, Jim Clark. And above that, a steering wheel I replaced from my much loved, if slightly unreliable, E-Type. A slightly more modern record deck, but the vinyl that's on it, the Rolling Stones' first album. Nicky, who many of you will have seen on the programme, painting players, goals, singing on some of the tracks we do, painted this glorious mural of David Bowie and Mick Ronson. It's a glorious job. My job and my hobby enables me to tinker around with all kinds of music, but my guitars are fundamentally old, iconic designs because they give me a warm and creative feeling when I play them. It's just wonderful recreating those original sounds on the original instrument. Oh, I collect model cars. Here, fundamentally race cars. At home, I have a ridiculously silly slot car layout, but it's all designed and laid out, and all the cars are from the late 50s and 60s. It's an era I love. And then at the very back of the studio, we're in the footy room. Now, the reason I've shown you all of this, your special guided tour, is to make the point as clearly as I can that I have a passion for nostalgia. This studio isn't just a football room. I hate to admit it, but it's fundamentally a museum because my passion is old and original football games, the major one of which is Subbuteo. Now, some of you may have read this book, Got Not Got. It really is a masterpiece, and if you haven't read it, I really recommend it. The authors, Derek Hammond and Guy Silker, take us on a trip through their memories of football in the era that they loved. I'm thinking we're of a similar age. The book is filled with great illustrations of things I remember, some I'd forgotten. It really is a superb read. But they make a very serious point as they trawl through their memories. And that is that these days they feel, and I agree, that somehow football in recent times has been taken away from us. And I feel that slowly and inexorably the same thing might be happening to original Subbuteo. Because for me, Subbuteo is all about nostalgia. Imagine just after the war, in the late 40s, being a 10 or 12-year-old boy Living in an England where petrol is rationed, clothes are rationed, food is rationed, there's no television, and the only radio is the rather plummy BBC. To get your hands on something like this, to have a mate around and to be able to play on the carpet, or if you were lucky enough on a table, and recreate association football must have been mind-boggling, especially when you consider your alternatives. Games such as blow football, counter games like shoot, card and dice games like Wembley, magnetic football, and, not forgetting, the trailblazing new footy. None of them came close to replicating association football like Subbuteo. Now, admittedly, you couldn't float a diagonal high pass across the field. You couldn't dink in a nice little cross for your centre forward to rise through the air and head it home. But you could do just about anything else. And all you needed was this. And the more skill you had with this, the more likely you'd be to beat your opponent. It must have been unbelievable. And a lot of people flocked to play this new game. Now, some of you may be thinking along similar lines to my wife, inasmuch as she's fairly convinced I'm an idiot. And I get it. Nostalgia, for nostalgia's sake, is a waste of time. Living in the past serves no purpose. But having the past around us is important, and to understand its relevance. And where I'm going to with this is that Subbuteo, created by Peter Adolf, is an important part of our history in terms of toy production and in terms of football. The two teams on this table, Dundee United and Dundee, represent 1950s football more accurately, more beautifully than Subbuteo Flats ever could. But that's not the point we're looking at. These figures from Stefan Korda are gorgeous and they play beautifully. But if people are looking at the history of Subbuteo, they're not 1950s models. They're far more modern. The flats are just so evocative of the era, made from the materials that were available, and they just reek of the 50s. It doesn't mean one is better than the other, but it is an important difference. And in table football terms, this difference manifested itself perfectly, crystal clear in 1961, with the launch of what we now refer to as the old heavyweights. Plastic 3D figures. In Subbuteo terms, these player types set the world alight. In the southeast of England, in Tunbridge Wells, Peter Adolf and his team were rubbing their hands with glee at the way these new 3D plastic figures had been received. Money and orders were pouring in, which was enough to make Mr. Adolf exceedingly jolly. But there was a slight problem. The manifestation of a rift that was to grow and grow. What Subbuteo didn't foresee in 1947 is that when 10 to 12-year-old youngsters started playing with his cardboard flats, they didn't stop. So by the early 60s, they were young men who had created clubs and tournaments and who now took the game far more seriously. When they saw these 3D figures, they weren't impressed. They were no match for the aerodynamic, beautifully balanced flats. To their minds, they were clunky, plastic, unpredictable toys, which is true. And it was the start of a rift that was going to just grow and grow. Now, for Peter Adolf at the time, he wasn't particularly bothered. Why should he be? As a man who liked to make a few bob, he continued production of the flats. So everybody was happy. But for these grown-ups, playing the game far more seriously, they had become very good at it. They were beginning to see their link with Subbuteo as a drawback. Being linked to a child's game was holding back the direction they wanted to go in. Peter Adolf had created a company to make children's games, Subbuteo Sports Games. He made games that realistically recreated well-known sports. That was his modus operandi, that's what was making him money, and that is what he wanted to do. For Peter Adolf and his team at Subbuteo Sports Games, their products were just that, games. They only required this small 8-page booklet to explain the rules and provide other paraphernalia. For the club and tournament players, this wasn't nearly enough. As their game evolved, they found holes in those rules. They had to be amended and adapted. On top of that, as time went by, they were becoming more and more reluctant to use Subbuteo products. Now, it's a rift that could have been fixed, but it wasn't. So when we leap forward to the present day and look at club and tournament Subbuteo, their game is a chasm away from the entry-level sets you may have bought from Netcam or now Longshore, where the rules of the game can be covered in one sheet of paper. And you might end up with a small Bible as to how the FISTF rules work. There's a lot to take in. This is the version 5 book, FISTF Rules, from September 2014. 66 pages in all, albeit with a lot of very good illustrations. But it gives you an indication of just how far the tournament FISTF game has come and how complex it has become. Now here is an interesting example for you. On the left we have England and Scotland as modern, up to the minute, char players for the FISTF game. And on the right we have England and Scotland heavyweights from around about 67 to 70. It's like a Formula 1 car. Anything that is surplus to its optimum performance has been removed. There is no paint. The base is perfect, blemish free. When we look at the England heavyweight in comparison, there's a little nodule on the base. It's not perfectly round, and we can't be sure that the washer is stuck in the right position. This is what a chart player can do. Now that is impressive. A beautiful glide, a soft touch and in. Now in all honesty, when we put our England heavyweight in the same position, he can do exactly the same thing. But the issue is, each and every char player will do that each and every time. These players will chip time after time with a real high degree of predictability. When it comes to the England heavyweight, even using the same technique every time, we can't be sure that we're going to get the same predictable result. And in a tournament game where chances might be few and far between, you need to have a bit more faith in the predictability of your player type. Subbuteo, the hobby, which after all is what Subbuteo means, Subbuteo, the hobby, is a game. It is a game that replicates football. It's a game with figures that are unpredictable, which for me is part of their charm. For somebody playing in an important tournament game, it's the biggest pain in the backside they could imagine. I don't mind the odd player falling over or having a little nodule sticking off his base where he's been taken off the sprue. I don't mind that. I like having a Subbuteo scoreboard. I like having Subbuteo fencing. I like the different array of goals. On one of our tables over here, we have the photographers, the grandstands. It's part of recreating my youth. And I'm lucky in having a mate like Smithy that he shares my view. So what I'm interested in is Subbuteo the hobby, and I am concerned that gradually that hobby is disappearing. Now, I do want to make this clear. This has got nothing to do with FISTUF or the English Subbuteo Association. I've done a podcast with Justin Finch. Alan Lee travelled a lot of miles to come and visit this studio. You will not find two more dedicated table football enthusiasts on the planet. And what they're doing with the ESA is fantastic. And on top of which, both truly are proper gentlemen. No, this has nothing to do with that, because there is another branch of the hobby that is moving away from Subbuteo, and that is solo play. A lot of solo players now are not using Subbuteo products. Okay, and we're back in colour. Now, solo play is enormous fun, and it is definitely great practice. And here you can see we have a right old mix and match. Our players, Wolves and Chelsea, are Stefan Corder on Image 2 bases. Our ball is a 1970 World Cup decal ball. Our goals are out of period and metal, but our pitch is an original Subbuteo Astro pitch, and we have the original Subbuteo fencing. We also have modern metal goalkeepers. Ultimately, it doesn't matter. As long as if you're playing solo, you're having fun, it's no one's concern. If Andy was here now and this is how we decided to play, it would be entirely up to us. So the issue isn't I'm anti mixing and matching or modern Subbuteo products. I'm just aware that in amongst these developments, original Subbuteo may be forgotten. And there's a good reason for that. Supply is short. Prices are ridiculously high. There are scammers on the internet sites. So one understands why people are looking elsewhere for products. The development of modern table football products is astounding. There are some gorgeous things out there. Subbuteo Stadium in Holland. Their plastic seating, stand accessories are truly gorgeous. The new player types, the quality of painting, the new goals that come through. We have people who will personalise a goal for you. They'll personalise a football for you. None of these are bad things, and I am not having a whinge about it. How can I? I've been responsible for producing non-Subbuteo products myself. The evolution of the beautiful game of Subbuteo over the last 70 or so years has been way beyond anything that Peter Adolf and his team could have imagined way back in 1947. It's astonishing, and all the various aspects of the game have got their merit, and many of them interact perfectly. Old heavyweights on an Astro pitch with metal goals, any which way you like. But there's a group of us who would like to concentrate and focus on preserving old original Subbuteo. And we would like those of you who share that interest to join us. So to that end, we're forming the Real Subbuteo Club. And I emphasise club rather than association. There'll be no committee, there'll be no rule book. The idea is for a gang of us to create a club and have a laugh. There are primarily three aims, one of which is down to me, is to turn this place into a visitor centre with more space and easier access. Secondly, we want to get together, we want to buy, exchange and talk about original Subbuteo, and we want to play Subbuteo, but in a gentlemanly, easygoing fashion to the rules that were in the box. It is possible to play Subbuteo with just the original rules. So if this idea interests you, then please contact me on info@tabletopyears.com, and over the next couple of weeks into the new year I will tell you how that is coming together and see if you fancy giving it a go. This is not set up in competition to anything. FISTUF, WASPA, the English Subbuteo Association, it is not in any way competitive to any of those. It is a standalone club of old cackers with an interest in the game rather than the sport. So hopefully you can drop me a line and we'll have a chat about how to make this work, see what other people want to include, and it might all be rather jolly. So, in the spirit of Christmas and in keeping with old traditional Subbuteo, everybody who has joined the Real Subbuteo Club, or if you're of a continental disposition, the Real Subbuteo Club, by the 28th of January, everybody who has joined the club by the 28th of January will be entered into a draw, and Danielle will pick out a winner who will receive this fantastic Subbuteo Continental Edition. Now, whilst the box may be showing its age, have a look at the contents. Beneath the lid, the original protective cover, and beneath that, over £1 million worth of Subbuteo heritage, give or take. We have red and blue moulded teams. We have the red fencing, 2 red floodlights, and somewhere crouching goalkeepers. So a fabulous set. Get in touch if you fancy the idea of the Real Subbuteo Club, and on January the 28th, everybody who has joined up, everybody will be put into a hat, and a winner will be pulled out of that hat on our next edition by Danielle, and the winner will receive this. How generous are we? I'm filling up. That might have devalued it a little bit. So, if you do want to join the Real Subbuteo Club, get in touch at this email address, and if you can remember, put Real Subbuteo Club in the subject line. After all, none of us want to see the 75-year-old girl ending up with its own chapter in a book like this. Our first game on what promises to be an exciting games day features #1 goalkeeper soccer game. There's a title that rolls off the tongue. Now Danielle, who normally looks after all of our mechanical games, has only got 2 hours due to work commitments. So Dynamic Danielle will be playing with the yellows. And making this a full international, playing for the whites will be Mr. Elegance himself, Gianluca Zucchelli. Let the mischief begin.
But you know, I'm gonna get into the mood and probably winning all the next games. By and large, I think, yeah, with very emphatic result, I would say.
1. We're underway. It's a very, very fast and brutal game. But Danielle on the attack first. What is Gianluca doing? Italian defence tactics. Danielle comes forward again with the yellows. Across goal. There it is. Gordon tapped it in. All these players have names. Gordon scored. Deary me. 2-0. Gianluca's having all kinds of defensive problems.
What we're seeing here is a gentleman behaving perfectly.
Oh, Gianluca's got one back, tucked in by Bob. Well, I'm sure you've picked up the gist of how this rough and tumble game works. Danielle romped home with an emphatic 8-2 win.
That was
The
obviously,
after-match interview.
that was obviously the Fisto.
Feeling much better.
Lots
Winner,
of goals.
winner.
Lots of goals.
Simon Goodman, man of steel, approaches the table. Will Danielle's manicured hands ruffle his feathers? We'll soon find out. On the other hand, down on her haunches we have Danielle ready to
Down to
go.
pitch level. Getting down to pitch level.
Danielle still playing with her lucky yellows.
3,
Simon
2,
takes
1,
care of
go.
the whites.
Oh dear.
Oh, what?
I wasn't ready.
Kick off.
Boo! Boo! Zoom in shot. How can he do that?
slide
With
it.
Danielle being an orphan. Oh, between his legs. Oh,
Oh, kick it on.
violence. Look at that.
Calm and collected response there.
Come on, Danielle. Get stuck in now. You're representing the studio here.
Come on, come on.
Oh! Come on, Simon. Backwards. No! Here he goes. Good start from Simon. Got himself a 2-0 lead. That could be enough of a buffer. No one goes.
Hello.
That was some clearance. There you go.
Throw, yeah.
Yes. Right, where do I want it?
It's yours. You got to, yeah. You
Oh yeah, you've got to flip the back of him.
Yeah, I know. Lining up my men ready to
Oh,
go.
I didn't. Oh, look at that.
That's clever, clever.
Oh, that was pretty well. That backfired massively.
Come on, in you go.
Whose side you on?
Go! Yes!
Goal line. Where's the goal line technology? I need to see it.
Go on, this. Oh, Danielle. That was it.
You're getting sacked in the morning.
Sacked in the morning.
Yes.
Oh, look at that, it's passing. Oh, hit the post.
A classic. Nobody noticed me taking the picture.
Final score. Danielle 1, Simon 3. Danielle's first defeat at home in the studio. Mind you, it was only her second game. Next up, our intrepid trio take on one of the most successful mechanical games of the 60s, Kasdan Soccer, made by the Kasdan factory in Blackpool. Now, you can see two boxes here. Interestingly, on the left, Bobby Charlton, who endorsed this game, is wearing a blue jumper. On the drive home, he must have realised that was a flawed move. In later boxes, he appeared in a more traditional red jumper. Right, let's get started. First up, Gianluca takes on Danielle once again.
Now we're off.
Go.
No, it's fine. This is what it's like. It's really hard.
Tactical
you
game.
have to like move. You can't.
We need not to get into the racking mood, we need just to think and pass the
Yes,
balls
exactly.
properly. Oh! Unless you defend.
I'm not going to accept a 0-0 draw in a... Oh, well that's that. Bottom corner.
Yeah, I could see that coming.
So how do we restart?
Yeah,
This way?
yeah. I have to walk it all the way around.
Nice.
It's so hard. Oh, good save. See that bit of skill though?
Danielle, with her slow and methodical play, took a comfortable 4-1 victory. Simon, with one win over Danielle already, is next onto the Kasdan table. he will be playing with the red team. As a Chelsea fan, he's going to love that.
That was a bad move. Yeah.
Oh!
Look at the skill. See that skill? Oh.
Oh God.
Yeah, that's what you get.
That's it.
She was just wearing you down, Simon. That's what that was. Wait till you doze off and go for it.
Yeah.
I'm in trouble here. Yeah, I knew it.
Oh! Keep up. So some players do the old 360, some others have a block.
Yeah. Well then, yeah, you've got potential of a clean sheet. Oh, you have!
Full play.
Well done, guys. Look at that.
Thank
That's it.
you.
Sportsmanship
Fantastic.
afterwards. Safe to say, with 2 wins out of 2, Danielle wins the Kasdan tournament. Chad Valley of Birmingham complete our round of mechanical games with Chad Valley Soccer. This was another big seller in the late 60s and 70s, primarily through shopping catalogues. It didn't reach the high sales that Kasdan did, but was close behind. The players are operated by levers. It's another crated pitch, and once again we start with Gianluca and Danielle, and Gianluca will be playing with the Reds. There you go.
Yay!
Oh, right.
Juventus,
Move it on.
Juventus.
Are you on number 1 on your goal?
Juventus,
Yeah,
Juventus.
it starts on 1, doesn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah. Shouldn't you have
Oh,
some?
Yeah, I
it's
was
me.
going to say, is it you or
Yeah.
me?
I wanted to be nice.
It's your first mistake.
Oh, good
Oh,
God.
it's gone straight in. 1-1. Oh. Yeah, if you don't put the score out, you don't get it. Oh, this is it. Good angle. Good goal.
Oh.
2-1.
Oh.
Here she comes. Here she comes.
Back on form.
Gianluca scored from this angle just
That's
a minute
actually
ago.
where I wanted it to go.
He's up. Ooh.
Not even joking.
Oh, headed clear.
Oh, goal straight in front of goal. Gotta be. Oh, roof of the net.
Oh.
Yes.
Oh.
Jumbo jumble.
Towed away.
Behave, boys. You got visitors.
Getting lobbed. Could have our first draw. Unless it's a good ball. Across the goal. Unbelievable.
Goal. It's
Is that 3-2?
3-2.
This is my favourite game, I think. Or not.
Or not. Load of rubbish.
That.
Yeah.
3-0.
3-all in the last minute.
Who's going to get it? Come on.
Oh, and I need to update.
Oh, saved. Oh, saved again.
Oh,
This is it, Gianluca. This is it. No, it's gone wide. Sorry.
I think that went in. It looked like it hit.
Oh,
hit
that's
the
an
back of
action
the goal.
replay. We can't decide now.
Yeah, VAR.
I forget the crossbar.
Oh, we're not going to have to call it. Oh, centre forward. Go.
Saved. Of course, there are no corners.
Okay.
Favorite angle.
Oh, go.
That's it. That was the winner. That was the winner.
That was close.
What a game.
Game,
What a
good
game.
game.
Great game, guys. What an amazing finish to the game. So unlucky for Gianluca. He lost with the last kick of the game. Danielle certainly is on a roll. The question is, as Simon takes to the table, has Danielle burnt herself out? Simon playing with the Reds. We pick up the game in the final minutes with Simon leading 6-3. But it wasn't over yet. Oh, that felt feeling nervous for you here.
It went in. It went in.
7-3.
Because he passed through here, eh?
Yes, that was what I was
The
trying to
near
do.
post.
That's what I was
not
trying
the
to do.
far post.
Yes.
7-4.
7-4. It's a
Blimey.
big result.
7-4.
Oh!
8-4.
Wow.
Blimey.
This is tense, isn't it?
Yeah, through this lens, it's like watching two Santas play at football. It's really weird.
Oh, 8-5.
Another
Yeah,
goal.
good goal.
Smithy, you're keeping up with the score
I
really well.
know.
No, we need.
Bedford. Oh!
8-5. Hang on.
Just thinking the same thing.
Right, hold it.
Tighter.
Yeah.
I won't win another game after that.
A resounding victory for Simon to finish off our collection of mechanical games. But to cheer up Danielle, I did find this one clip that looks rather good in slow motion. Straight, Daniel, straight. Oh! Top corner!
3-2.
3-2. We like to see the ball leaving the ground a bit.
So Daniel finding again her winning boot.
Chad Valley's big league has always meant a lot to me, as may be readily apparent. But I don't know why. I first saw it in the run-up to Christmas in 1973, and I was immediately struck by it. I was desperate to get it for Christmas, and as one of 6 kids, that was going to be a bit of a strain for my parents. But bless them, as Christmas morning came, there it was under the tree, and I was delighted. Until I took the lid off the box. All of the players needed painting. Now, I'm not the most patient of chaps anyway, but that meant 2 days painting at least before I could even play with it. Come Boxing Day, we were ready for the big kickoff, me and my younger brother. Problem number 2, the goalkeepers were static. They were just standard players, standing in a very large goal. It was too easy to score. So it was a little bit of a disappointment, but I couldn't say anything because my parents had really put themselves out to get it for me. We tried a few more times, but before long, it was slid under a bed, never to be seen again. Then, in more recent times, when I started building this place, I thought I must have missed something. Big league always meant a lot for me. So I started acquiring boxes until I got a few perfect sets. Nikki painted some beautiful strips. We laid it all out, we played it again and realised I was right the first time. It is hopeless. But what had happened shortly after I stopped playing was Big League had realised their problem and included a rod that attached to a player's waist, so at least you had a moving goalkeeper. Nevertheless, it's the game that might have been. There are so many shortcomings with it. So we decided to include it in our games weekend and play 2 against 2. So Gianluca and I, understandably, are going to be Italy, beautifully painted by Nikki, while Smithy and Simon are going to be the England side of 1966. I'm not sure what will happen. It may be finally we find the inner secret of Big League. Oh, he's gone short,
all right.
gone short.
He's still...
Up to you, mate, you move. Oh, watch the keeper, watch the keeper.
Oh!
Nice.
Could go under it.
Nice goal.
Give it a wallop. Yeah, still us. Right, okay, it's you, Giancarlo in the half. Oh, it's perfect.
Glad I didn't get that on camera.
That was a Gianni Rivera pass.
Here we go, come on, Jim.
Wow.
Oh!
Yes, you're
Yeah,
right there.
it's yours, it's yours.
One of
We're not
those,
arguing.
yeah. Charlton running through the middle.
Ruler's got to be yours, hasn't
Yeah,
it?
I think so, yeah.
Yeah,
Okay,
go on.
Oh, excuse me.
Oh.
Right.
On ball, can you see?
Carlos running.
Too
Big
hard.
fella, that's us.
Too hard for Charlton.
Yeah, he'll be good, he'll be good. Go, go, go.
Oh! No!
Right,
Go on, you're there. So,
quick, get the keeper just in case.
he's coming in for the rebound. He's coming in for the rebound.
keep him upright.
Oh, brilliant.
He's getting the hang of it back there. Go on, still yours.
I was trying for too much power on that shot. Knew that with nothing.
Oh, ruler out. Still you, just.
Yeah,
Go on.
Oh, no.
Oh, what? It's got to be us now.
I think.
What do you reckon? Yeah, us?
Yeah.
Go on then. Go on, put it through. Come on, put it through. Hey! Oh!
Goal kick.
Run! We're pushing the goal forward more like. Oh, here we go. You're for it now. It's a big thing, can I do? No, stick it to the foot.
Yeah, it's still yours.
Just.
Happy Christmas to us.
That's
Oh.
what you see. That's a good one.
Got that covered. Watch this left end. Right.
Nice.
One each!
Very nice.
I'm not suggesting we found the hidden secret to Big League, but 2v2 seems to offer some interesting possibilities. Let's see the second half. Going too quick this one when I set it up. Well, what can I say? Nice bit of passing. He's going to the centre forward. Was it Facchetti, wasn't it? That's who we got here.
Facchetti Bolognese.
Commentary brilliant. Oh, look at that. That's reasonable. Oh! Well held. Good shot, mate. That could have been it. Could have been it. He won't find it. Although he's been passing well. Ooh, look at that.
He does.
Oh, straight for the centre back position.
That's
Still yours, I'd say.
yeah.
Hang on. Yeah, we'll bring it through, mate. There you
You have
go.
a pop from there, can't you?
No, wouldn't dare.
Go on.
Ow!
I can't get it.
Bad luck.
And he gets it. Go on, this is it. Go on.
Nice crack. Oh, good. Still good.
That's
still
off.
Good. No, still good.
Go on. Spirit of friendship.
Okay.
Right, shoot from him.
Yeah. You're going to shoot with a throw in. Oh! Such was the sportsmanship.
One ball.
Oh, still yours, Jazz, I think.
Go for it.
Good man. Uh-oh. Getting away.
Charlton.
That's the one. It's Charlton. Watch!
Oh!
Good save. Good save. I was saying, watch the far corner.
Oh, a little crease might have stolen that from you.
It's yours.
Blue ball. Yeah, bad luck.
Oh, hello.
Oh, go. Bottom corner. Bad luck.
Defender just did enough to put him off.
Well, 1-1 the final score, but there is no denying that Simon and Smithy owned that second half with England, and Gianluca gave us a lesson in Italian defending. If I have learnt something, it's that 2 against 2 turns Big League into an entirely different game. It was thoroughly enjoyable, as you heard. There was a lot of laughing, some great fun. And that is maybe the way we'll go forward with it in the future. Next up, the biggest selling football release of the 70s, Striker. This game was massive. Now, first up, we have Gianluca and Simon, neither of whom are familiar with the game. So, when you're hosting people for new games, one of the most important things to relax them and for everybody to have a good time is to go easy on the rules and give a little bit of encouragement. And bless them, they both dived into it. Simon playing the closest blue we could get to Chelsea, and Gianluca, Crystal Palace.
Left. Get close to the ball, Simon. Close to the ball.
Oh,
Push the
Arms it
line.
away.
Still you, Simon.
Yeah.
Get it right in that socket, and then you'll lift it. Oh, he touched it again. No, it's your ball. Yeah.
No,
Comfy.
he's in.
He's in.
This time I'll bring him.
Oh, keeper.
Lucky.
good with your folks with it. Oh,
Tomorrow again. Tomorrow.
Chances, guys. You draw in big league and a draw in striker. Straight through, son. Straight through. That's a shot. Keeper again. Oh, what a save! What a save! Did you get that?
Yeah.
Good effort. Let's see around the socket. Oh! It trickled in over their post.
Oh, unlucky. Unlucky.
A big thanks to Gianluca and Simon from Smithy and I for not only entering into playing a brand new game, but allowing us to film their efforts. We really appreciate it. The following day, Cliff Naylor and Martin Hanson, two local chaps from just up the road at Cheltenham, came in, and overnight Smithy and I had decided it might be more entertaining to double up 2 versus 2, and this time it was striker with their famous diving goalkeeper. Cliff and Martin playing Holland, Smithy and I Scotland.
You could always pass to you.
Oh, that's what I like. Yeah, let the striker carry on.
The wall.
Oh, very good. Can't move the player twice. Oh! We're down a goal.
In off the bar.
Ah, you got a Russian playing for you.
What a move. Oh, Johnny watch.
Oh, how many goal high? Sorry. Oh no.
I think you just killed a man.
Oh, put it in, put it in. Oh, bad luck.
Great save.
That's yours.
We was robbed then.
This came off the keeper, so it must be.
Yes, carry on.
He's getting slowly but surely into a proper shoot.
He does it, son. Gently does it. On me muckhead. Oh, yeah, there's more in theirs than ours.
Go for goal, Cliff.
In your own time, though. Oh, he's blocked it in.
You've played this before. Once or twice.
Not for a very long time.
The back streets of Salford.
Yes, more like it. 2-1. Well done, Smithy. We were worried we might get left behind. We're still in.
On you go, and you have the kick.
Come on, you Scots. Oh, that's us. Gently does it.
I was going to.
You could have a go because no one's holding the goalkeeper. Oh, straight back in.
2-2.
Oh, right. Oh! Goodness me.
Oh.
Your book? No.
No, you carry on. It's your. Lucky.
Remember, he should pass that over then because he can't move his defender anymore.
Ah, right.
So that's the tactics there.
We'll know next time.
Yep.
Good ball. Right, bit of left-footed magic, or do we put our man through?
That's alright, it should just lob in.
Oh, it's come on outside. Here we go. It's got to fancy it. Yeah, it's got to fancy it. Oh, 3-2. Topsy-turvy game.
Archie Kemmell's just scored. Yeah. 2-0 and yep.
Dutch.
Can't sing that one.
See that.
Now, of course, you can.
There you go.
Surely you can't get in from this angle.
Oh, bad luck. Wow. Nice shot across the goal. Oh. No. Right. Now that'd be greedy, wouldn't it? What a perfect pass. Too far, sorry.
That's alright.
Put it in, son. Put it in. Or come back. That's it.
Okay.
Yeah.
Full time.
Good game. Really good game.
Well played.
Well done, well done, well done.
Once again, the key element was keeping the game relaxed. Relaxed about rules, relaxed whether the ball was over the line or not. just to make sure that everybody had a good time. Now, Smithy and I may have scraped through to a 3-2 victory, but there is no question that Martin and Cliff scored the 2 goals of the game. Worth a replay, I think. For the lads' first goal, Cliff receives the ball out on the left. An inch perfect pass to his partner, Martin, who without delay plants it into the top corner. Fantastic goal. For the second goal, Smithy's pass doesn't clear the zone. Cliff picks up possession and initially mishits the ball, but then resets and fires in a cannonball into the roof of the net. Great goals. Finally, in this section of 2v2, after Subbuteo, this is my favourite tabletop football game. Table Association Football 4-2-4. Now, this game has dated over the years. The 4-2-4 formation was something of the late 60s, but it is still an incredibly entertaining game to play. We've covered the rules in previous episodes. You'll pick it up as we go. But Cliff Naylor and Martin Hanson join me and Smithy for England versus Scotland.
Give me a break, give me a break.
Oh, too hard. Right, I've got to get used to
Yeah, you got it, you got it. Let's finish short again.
So I can bring him in.
Yeah. All come across. It's up to you. No, good move. Tick, tick. So if we want to keep possession, we'll go for the big pass.
If you do that like that.
Yeah, cool.
Shall I take over there?
Yeah, go on.
Yeah. It seemed like a good idea.
It is. Oh, boom. You're only just in the zone then.
Good play.
Oh, you can do that.
Oh, no.
Okay, so moving back in.
Go, go, go. Yeah, whichever way you want to go. Cool move.
Right, now this is my... I know, but...
Perfection, what were you worried about?
It's ridiculously hard to score.
It's just with the perspex space, a low shot would have been tricky. It's going. Still slightly in there.
Oh, right,
You can move some if you want.
If you've used 4 to play it, that's good, and I'll put that's it, well remembered. Right, we've got 8 in position, we've got 7 in position. Still you, mate. Do you want to cross it or go for it?
Oh, well,
So you can chip it or go for the shot. Oh, come on.
Can I go sideways?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, bad luck.
I don't know what I did there.
Mess it up is the general parlance, but typical Old Firm derby. Oh, we got the touch on that.
It's more in than out, more in than out.
Tackle. If it's the red foul, it's penalty. Right, ready?
Yeah.
Oh, look at that, expertly done.
Get ready with the keeper, because if it does get deflection, we'll be... Oh, that's ours to touch the player. Well done. Lovely.
Yeah. Can.
Oh, bad luck,
yeah.
bad luck, bad luck.
Yeah, put him back in the... Oh, we've got 2 out at the moment.
Where is he? Oh,
There we go, yeah.
Yeah, it's still yours.
Touched the share.
Hasn't touched it.
So,
Right, that's not gone in the zone, so that's us. Oh, Dick, sorry. We're thinking the same thing.
Oh, it's risky.
Oh, I don't think you're on the... No,
you're
from
right.
above you are, I think.
that's good.
Nah, go on, we're not.
We're keeping it friendly.
Yeah. We get it to the ball. Get
you
it in
there,
that zone
carry on.
quick.
No, because now he's going to play. I've got to move.
Oh, it's falling short. Go, Nick, go, 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 go. Superb pass.
Good save. Good save.
Oh, you're in,
Just
you're
about.
all
Just
right.
about.
Yeah, cool.
Yes.
Good work.
Chippy.
Excited.
Didn't make
Go on.
it. Oh, dangerous pass. Bloody Emily Hughes.
Yes.
Ooh, you need to say this, otherwise I've made a mistake. Keep going. Cliff and I managed to sneak home with a 1-0 win for England, and a penalty at that. But in the second half, Smithy and Martin were certainly putting the pressure on. A big thanks to Martin and Cliff for joining us for that game. They'd never played it before and they really got into the swing of it. It's a game I really love. Well, hopefully you've enjoyed this gaming session. Special thanks to Simon Goodman, Gianluca Zucchelli, Martin Hanson, Cliff Naylor and Danielle for making it such an entertaining time. And if I may add a special thank you to Alexander, my son, for all the handheld camera work. He did a fantastic job. So if you've enjoyed this and you fancy coming down to the studio for a little bit of the same, then just drop me a line on this email address here and you'll be more than welcome. At the beginning of the programme, we promised you there'd be an opportunity to win this fabulous, immaculate France 98 Subbuteo set. And I have to tell you, it is a fabulous set. Amongst Subbuteo players, it is well known for two things: the throw-in taker and the free kick or corner taker. Let's have a look what you'll get inside the box. So let's have a little look at what you'll be getting. You'll be getting 2 goals, 4 tango footballs, Brazil, France and England with bases, 2 goalkeepers, a nylon pitch, instructions and assembly instructions. They are for these 2 fantastic figures, the corner kicker and the throw-in taker. I have already assembled them for you. I'll wrap them. They'll be intact when they arrive, and I'll just demonstrate those for you now. The throw-in figure first. Place the ball. So, hit the lever at the back, and there is your throw-in. And our corner taker or free kick taker next. Place the ball in front of the player, give it a gentle push, and you have your lifted ball. It's a wonderful, wonderful thing. Now, setting questions for these kind of quizzes these days is nearly impossible because everything is on the internet. So, I'm going to ask you a French question, but nothing to do with football, and I'm sure you'll be scrolling around Google for the answer. Which famous watchmaker made a watch for Marie Antoinette? Get your answers in, please, by the 28th of January. The next edition is due out on the 30th. Send your answers to this email address, and it really helps me out if you put competition in the subject box, because there'll be emails coming in over the next few weeks for all manner of things. Please don't put your answer in the comments underneath the video because I'll have to delete it and your entry won't count. And for those members of our Table Football Monthly Facebook group, please don't put the answers in there either. Right, so get onto your phone, get onto your laptop, get onto Google. Which famous watchmaker made a watch for Marie Antoinette? And the company is still going now. Good luck. Members of our Table Football Monthly Facebook group will know that Smithy and I promised in this Christmas edition we would provide a review of the Subbuteo Dream Team Stadium made by NB Games. with Hasbro. Now sadly we did it, but all the footage has been lost because it got recorded over during all the other stuff we were doing for the Christmas special. That's unfortunately my cack-handed mistake. But it's not such a great loss, I've got to be honest, without giving too much away. So I'm going to redo a shorter version for you now. You're going to lose the benefit of Smithy's humour and tabletop skills, but you will gain, I promise you, from the fact that it's shorter. Here we go then, the Dream Team Stadium. Now, one of the positive things you'll hear about Dream Team Stadium is what a nice feeling it was seeing Subbuteo return to their roots with flat playing figures. Well, yes and no. Here is an original Subbuteo flat. Now here's the thing. The original flat, as we discussed at the very beginning of this edition, was a thing of beauty. Yes, it's basic. Yes, it's of its time. But as a playing figure, it was superb. It could curve beautifully. It was easy to spin. It would slide, albeit a small way, and it would lift the ball. A great figure indeed. Now, sadly, MB Games overlooked those key things. So what we have here is a rather charming figure, a picture of Didier Drogba in his Chelsea kit, looking terribly manly and ready for action. He's a bit too tall. His card figure sticks into a one-piece plastic base that really is probably the weakest part of this set. And let me show you in close-up why. You'll see that the bottom of his very small base is flat, unhindered, unblemished. That is to enable the little chap to slide. Now Didier here, looking very purposeful. Let's have a look at him in the same position. And you'll see what MB Games have done, if I catch it in the light so you can see it, is they've put a logo on the bottom of a Subbuteo figure. Now, I'm sure the advertising and marketing people at MB Games thought, oh, well done, jolly good show. However, this is what it doesn't do. It doesn't enable the figure to do anything. Oh. Many of you would have seen me do little demonstrations where I play a few passes and try and score. I'm going to do that now. But before I do, one quick point about the 4-bar stadium. One of the notions is that having these bars pushes the corners back and they keep the pitch straight. That's not strictly true. It does crease up. But anyway, let's try and impress you with some play. Okay, fallen down once. Now I really am trying, I promise you that. After all, why would I want to look like a fool? Okay, now I'd fancy my chances normally. There we go. You get no real feedback off the player. With an entry-level set, what you want to be able to do is give the kids something straight away they can get into. And in this game, the only thing they can get into are the photoreal players. The bases are so unpleasant. I'm not really sure we can count that. That there's no real joy in playing with them. Let's have a look at a spin. Yeah, got there in the end. I know it's Christmas. I know this is the last feature. And it would be really nice to think of something positive to say, especially as rain has now started teeming down onto the roof. We should have really done a test on this game first and then done the cheery things afterwards. Because in conclusion, this is rubbish. The novelty value of setting it up will have people walking past saying, ooh, but that doesn't last very long. The playing figures are total rubbish. Primarily because of the bases, but also because the card figures are too high. There's no balance. Putting an engraving on the flat bottom of a Subbuteo base, all that proves, all MB games have proven by doing that, is they don't know anything about Subbuteo. The one thing you need is an unblemished base. So, all I can suggest is, if you're a collector and you want it in your collection, then you'll get a cheap one on the auction sites, maybe even for a tenner. That's why I got this one. If you want to play it, particularly if you want to play against somebody, I'm afraid it's misery on a table. If you're somebody who plays solo and you think you might enjoy it, you might. I wouldn't. The great joy I get is flicking things in a straight line and being able to make them spin. These are so unpredictable, it's joyless. So, on a jolly note, we like the scoreboard. And I'm going to make some toast. Right, I'm sorry this has been a rather downbeat review. So, we're going to try and get something of a climactic ending. Subbuteo Dream Team Stadium. It's not a dream, and they're not really teams. They're higgledy-piggledy players from different teams put together on rather poor bases. And it's not a stadium, it's 4 pieces of plastic that I can only fit one spectator on. But what we will do is we'll show a nice picture of the box and we'll flick a player into shot to make it look like a proper finish. Oh.
You've got a lot of balls, mate.
Bells, mate.
Bells.
What I've got is a lot of bells. Yeah. Right, that just about wraps it up for this festive edition of Table Football Monthly. We hope you've enjoyed it as much as the elf himself enjoyed.
And the Oompa in the jumper.
That is harsh. As the elf himself did, putting it all together. Couple of things, if you've got any questions, queries or comments to make about the programme, you can contact us as usual in 2 ways. Way number 1, you can email us at info@tabletopyears.com, or you can jump onto Facebook, type in Table Football Monthly, and the magic will take you to our Facebook group. Otherwise, there's nothing left for us to do except to thank everybody who came on to the programme to help us out, for getting stuck in and for being so generous with their time, and to say thank you to all of you for all of your support, and to wish you a very Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year. Stay safe. We will see you in January. Bye for now.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
Table Football Monthly, all the way from Kasdan to Subbuteo. Table Football Monthly, pick a team 'cause we're set up and we're good to go. Yeah, we're good to go.
Interesting. Very interesting. Oh! Look at his face! Just look at his face!
You've got to flick to kick, but make it quick before the chance is gone. Spin to win and knock it in before you know it, the game is won. A flick and a spin enough to win, and soon you're ready to show you're good to go. You're good to go. You're good to go.